Holland, where tonight Europe's #1 rock show kicks off our coverage of the summer festival season in fine style. You're joining me at the famous Dynamo Festival, and we're going to be checking out some hot festival action, interviews and full live performances from the likes of Shelter, Voivod, White Devil, Savatage, and headliners Venom. So it's sunny, I'm sure it's going to rain, but no matter what, the metal is going to be flowing. So get that summer festival season feeling right now from the Dynamo 96. It's a killer edition of Headbangers Ball. Yes, welcome along to the Dynamo Festival, our first festival coverage of 96. We're here in the beer tent, the best place to be. It's raining outside, and let me tell you, there's a band here who have such an aura and who look like a real rock band. It's White Devil, and you remember Bobby from Biohazard, and also
in the house
from the Crew. So welcome along, guys.
To Dynamo 96. Rain and the place to be. Mud all over the motherfucker. What's up?
Yeah, mud is the word. Now,
Dynamo in effect.
listen up, guys. Could you tell me how you all hooked up together and formed White Devil?
Well, it's a long story, but to make it short, after a few years of separation, after the Chromax fell apart, me and Paris, we realized that we could do a lot more productive things together than we could apart, because we're very close friends and we played a long time. And then when we found out Bobby was looking for a new gig, it was like, there was no question. It was just like, I mean, I was like, me and Bobby on the same stage, that's asking for some major, like, intenseness. So, like, we got on the horn. My man, no questions asked. He grabbed his guitar, he said, I'm there. And the beauty of it is, yo, tell him how you started Biohazard, bro.
It's kind of a fate thing, you know, and I've been getting real spiritual and deep and all that lately in my life myself.
But deep and spiritual, man.
But it's kind of it's a fate thing, because it was like 8 years ago when I went went and saw the Cro-Mags.
Right.
And I watched them play in Brooklyn at a club called Lamore's. It was the sickest show like I'd ever been at. It was really behind a crazy pit. Like, it was just unbelievable. And the energy was so there that I was so inspired. I was like, yo, I gotta do this, man. I gotta do this. So that's when I hooked up with Anthony Mio, the old guy at Biohazard. That's when we hooked it up. Yeah, we started Biohazard. And then 8 years later, I leave. Let me tell it, man. 8 years later, I leave the band, and he's standing right there. And I'm like, it's your fault that I've been doing this the whole time, man. Like, you know what I'm saying? So it was very cool. I'm a big fan of their music. And I'm having a blast playing their songs, man.
So how is life after Biohazard? You already played here at Dynamo. How did it go?
It's rough.
We got no roadies.
Been on somebody's couch, man. I don't care, but I'm playing Dynamo.
Yo, we came here with like no guitars, no nothing. But yo, people are treating us great. You know, yo, man, to the fans, to everybody who supported Bobby and us throughout all the years, thank you, man. Much love, man. I hope to see you soon. Yo, we just signed a deal with Def Jam, King Records. You should be expecting an album out from us pretty soon. But so anyway, yeah, so we did this EP, and then now it's official. Yo, what's up? Check out these fucking crazy people. Yo, what's up? FTV.
Well, the beer's flowing, and I'm sure there's going to be a lot more beer flowing by the end of the day. But lovely to talk to you guys. I love your energy.
Yo, we love your energy.
Thank you.
Thank you for coming out.
Thank you. Lots of luck.
What's up? Bronx in the house. Yo, Erica, my baby, I love you. Rachel.
All right. Lots of luck to you guys.
Thank you and everybody at MTV for supporting me over the years. And thank you out there for listening, man. You know,
Yo.
I ain't going down. I'm still alive, man. I'm surviving.
We might be down, but we ain't out, man. This is it's far from over.
Good. Well, right now we're going to check out White Devil live on stage at Dynamo 96. Crank it up.
Tried to bring me down. Tried to steal my crown. Strong and loose. We'll see just what you learned. So I'm gonna come, but I'm from behind. Try to bring me down. Try to steal my crown. This time we lose.
Come on, you're on the dance floor. Let's pick it up. Dynamo!
It's the first festival of the season for Headbangers Ball, and in typical festival style, it's pissing down with rain. This festival should be called Dynamud, not Dynamo. And a band that knows all about the conditions here is Galactic Cowboys. They've just come off stage, and I am joined by Monty and Ben. So welcome down to Headbangers Ball, guys, and a good place to start, I guess, is how did it go up there on stage?
It was great. It quit raining while we were playing. Yeah, so it was great.
Great. Now we're going to talk about the guys' new album, Machine Fish, and I don't normally ask about album titles, but in your case, I think it's quite significant about what's going on the record.
Well, actually, it started off as a joke. We were just kind of goofing around about all the names of bands that have to do with Machine and then all the Fish bands, and it was just, I thought, well, you know, these guys are really successful with these names. Maybe if we put them together, we'll have a big success. And, you know, well, it's yet to be seen.
So tell us a little bit about the album, because there's some quite kind of deep and personal subjects, but I also kind of get a feeling that you've got quite a good sense of humor as well.
Yeah, I think so. I hope so, at least. We try to be humorous. But no, there was a lot of trouble between our two albums. You know, our third album, our second and third album, we lost a record deal that we had, and we're going through a lot of trouble, wondering whether we're ever going to get to record again or go on the road again. So there's a lot of kind of emotion and things like that going on in there.
Tell us a little bit about sound on the record, because it's quite a, I suppose, could you say a traditional kind of metal sound?
Well, I guess we just tried to make a album that was raw and, you know, heavy, and at the same time be us, which is melodic and heavy and all those things. So just tried to make it be us as much as we could.
It was actually produced by your drummer, is that right?
Yeah, Alan Doss, excellent producer.
Right, okay. So you're looking forward to a European tour as well. That's kicking off, is it in September or something?
Yeah, August or September, we're not sure yet, but we will be back. We will be here, and we will play every city we can possibly play.
Step outside of this fastball. What's it called? To rabbit you, the parts of broken trail. Step outside of the fish bowl.
Feeling a little tense.
Ball kicking it here at rainy old Dynamo, but bringing a ray of sunshine to the show. My old friend Shelter. So I've got Ray and Flanagan Porcel. So nice to have you back in Europe, guys.
It's great that we meet once again.
Yeah, indeed.
It's good to see you again.
Nice to see you guys.
Yeah, it's great.
And,
it's summer in America.
Right.
Do you know that? We just left LA. We just went on tour with Downset across America, and it was summer.
And how did that tour go?
It was awesome, actually. Those guys are great guys.
Yeah.
And now we're here to do this, and then we're back to New York. We have a day off, and then we go to Brazil.
Right.
And we have a 3-week tour in Brazil. And then we go back and do these festivals, these Helter Skelter festivals with the Sex Pistols.
And here at Dynamo, I think this is like the biggest show that you've ever played. Is that right?
Yeah, it's true. We've never played a show over 2,000 people, so we're a little excited.
So how many people here today? Is it over 100,000, I think? How does that feel?
Count yet. I left my clicker at home, but the funny thing is, I've never even been to a concert show in my life. I've only been to like punk shows. So my biggest show I ever saw was like
Dead Kennedys.
the Dead Kennedys or the Exploited in LA once, but or in New York. But I've never been to like an arena rock show. So
So have you got any?
weird enough to now my first one is one I'm gonna have to play at.
Right. I know. So you got any kind of a different way of approaching the show today? I mean, the conditions here are dreadful.
No way. It's a day at the office for us, the same as usual, you know?
It's going to be weird, though, not to interact with the crowd, which is the fun thing about, you know, punk shows or hardcore shows. It's going to be weird having a 30-foot barrier. Even if they have some barriers, usually I can, you know, jump across them, but this is going to be a big leap.
Don't jump
Yeah.
today, Ray. So the other bit of news from the shelter camp is that you've got a new drummer.
New
Tell us
drummer,
what's
Roy.
happened.
He's actually our old friend from, he used to be in the band Nausea, which was an old New York hardcore band. And we sort of grew up with him, and he does sound at this club called the Wetlands. And he was also in this band Thorn. So,
Is he gonna be becoming a Hare Krishna as well?
we're working on him.
Good. Okay. So just to finish up with, we've been playing the video for Here We Go a lot, and we'd like to know if we can expect a new video from Shelter.
That's what they're expecting to do one. I think it's a tug of war between America and the U.S. If they're going to do a Civilized Man or We Can Work It Out, the Beatles song. But we're not going to know till after this tour.
Right. Well, Civilized Man gets my vote, I think.
Okay. Mine too.
All right. Well, I wish you lots of luck today here at
Okay.
Dynamo. Have a good day.
Take it
Harry
easy.
Ball. And right now we're going to check out a little bit of Shelter live on stage facing the elements here at Dynamo. Here we go.
Hey, what's up? I'm Civ. This is Charlie, and we're gonna, we're gonna show you around Dynamo all like the good shit that you don't know about.
Really all about.
All the stuff we get to see. That's really fun.
Exciting.
Look, we didn't even have to go far. Slayer. Ow! Ah, their dressing room. They're not in there though. They're not there. Hold on, we'll find something better. I think the rest of the band is watching Shelter.
Actually, I think they went to get, there's a couple goats that are going to be on stage for Slayer, and they went to feed the goats and get the goats out, and get them all prepped up for the big Slayer show that's happening.
Yeah, they need some horns.
Yeah.
Somebody couldn't hold it, and they shit in the shower.
I think actually because the bathrooms are so disgusting that it was nicer to be in the shower.
Yes.
It's a little cleaner.
It wasn't us, because we know about it, but
Let's see if it's still there.
Come and follow. Oh, wait, but this is good. Wait. Hey, here's a good drain.
Wow, look at it. It must have been...
That's a good drain.
That's long hair.
That's metal.
That's got to be metal.
That's rock.
Gotta be somebody...
There's right in this one, there was like a good load of like sprayed diarrhea shit all over, but someone was nice enough to clean it up. These are cold, by the way.
Yeah.
So don't expect a hot shower at
Dynamo
Dynamo.
doesn't believe in hot water or hot food.
Yeah, because it's just, you know, it's punk.
It's metal.
It's metal. Fuck it, you don't need it. It's too hard, don't need that shit. No one needs food, sleep, or water. Festival has like a thing with God where they just, it's gonna rain.
Because everyone's camping in the tents, they arrange it so that it rains, kind of like a shower. You see people
It's nice.
pouring out bars of soap.
It's refreshing.
They're getting all suds up.
Makes you feel good.
It's nice.
Yeah, it's alright.
It's good.
Okay, we're gonna go someplace else. This is where the incredible lunch table was.
There was some bread here, and there's this.
And there was that stuff.
But we're vegetarians, so we didn't really partake in the
So this was the fabulous lunch.
mommy tent. Some people thought Metallica was going to be here, but basically their new album was here. they played the new record over the PA, and people got excited and were jumping around. So I guess that's good for them.
They were sort of here.
So
This is the porta potty line. This is where you take shits. Oh, this is perfect. This is good stuff. Did you just do that? Is that yours?
God bless you.
Oh, that's a good one. Show her, that's hers. That is what you get to shit into. Isn't that nice? Who needs flushing? You just shit on each other's stuff. That was a good healthy shit.
Yeah, she must have had the other lunch.
There was no pressure. It just kind of looked like it slid right out. That's some good, strong bowels you got there, ma'am. What's your name?
Gunser.
Gunser takes such big shits that he's sponsored.
He needs to be sponsored for the work that he does in those
He
toilets.
shits outside so much.
They take such...
I clean the toilets at the skate fest.
Ah, he's a toilet cleaner.
And you know those skaters, man. They're skating all day. They get hot. They get loose.
They take a lot of
big
shits.
They take big shit.
Really take big shit. I'd shake your hand, but yeah, I'm saying, well, good job.
We're now in the beer tent. We're listening to Pantera, which is good stuff. I think people in the beer tent are a little hostile.
They got a couple of drinks in them.
Yeah, they're
ready to duke it
a
out.
little, yeah, they're a little jumpy.
You might even watch us get punched out.
Excuse me, sir. We were wondering if you were David Benson from Morbid Angel.
Morbid Angel?
Yeah, no, you're not him?
No.
You look like
him.
Yeah, you look like you're having a good time. I like your glasses, man. Those are cool. Those are like chips.
One of them.
Oh, no, I can't take your glasses, man.
You want my pants? You want my horny emblem?
I played with these guys once. I got kicked.
It's like chips. I feel like Eric Estrada. I feel like John Baker. These are nice.
You look like Freddie Mercury.
Excuse us. We are just noticing that I think you pretty much have the nicest trousers of the whole Dynamo Festival. Oh, you don't want to be? Okay, I'm sorry. Yeah, I know how it is. I got problems too. Hey, you know, I'm wanted. If this is in the U.S., I'd have problems. Thank you. Sorry. Good boots too.
As if if it mattered if she got filmed or not.
Maybe those are her mom's pants, and her mom might supposed to wear the pants at Dynamo. Her mom sees that she wore those. You know, it's muddy out. Her mom might get upset. You know, those things are going to definitely have mud on them by the end of the Slayer set. One thing that I haven't explored yet, which I would really like to, is the massage team. Which should we go see what they're all about? Okay. We're band members, and we think that this is a great facility to have for the bands. You know, knock them around, massage them.
Get them loose, get them revved up. We just want to show the people. Okay?
Just real quick, one time.
Okay, sure.
Okay. Man, take it easy, everybody. Keep going. Keep rubbing down. We're just, We're just showing what the Dynamo has to offer. This is the massage team. You guys are all on the team? Yeah. All right. See, in New York, they have special massages where they...
Yeah.
Well, I can't talk about it.
It's kind of like an all-over full-body massage.
I think here it would be considered
like
erotic.
That was like a bunch of guys in hats and sweatshirts with like dirty hands.
Personally, I don't really like a man. I mean, not that, you know, I'm sure that they're strong and would work the muscles in a proper manner, but me, myself, I like a...
Happen to notice this massage technique? These two guys who are looking very
This looks like trouble.
Suspicious.
This looks
couple of troublemakers over here.
Couple troublemakers over here.
A little band called Slapshot right here. How you guys doing? Enjoying the festival? Enjoying
Chocomel.
Chocomel. That's all we have to say.
It's Chocomel.
Oh, look at this one. It's Chocomel.
Chocomel.
Did you see how smart I was? I gave the mic to the Chocomel.
As if the Chocomel
Like,
was
as if he was
be-
going to say
I am
something.
the
Keep
Chocomel.
your day job.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah.
All right.
Clap it up for him.
And his name is Dick. And it really is Dick.
Oh, that's such a surprise that his name is Dick.
Put it in.
Hey, everybody, Dick.
Give
Dick a hand. Give Dick a hand.
Headbangers Ball! Right, Headbangers Ball! Headbangers Ball!
Slayer's getting ready to embark on the Dynamo Festival. The word is that they have a lot of young goats with them, and they have a truck full of goats that hopefully will be on stage tonight with Slayer. We're now going to see Slayer on the stage.
This is Kerry King from Slayer. You're watching MTV Headbangers Ball. We are at Dynamo Open Air Festival, yeah. Our headlining night, and dig it.
And up next, it's Sacred Reich, and I've got Phil and Riley joining me in the beer tent. So welcome back to Europe, you guys. And this is a bit of a last-minute thing for you to be playing at Dynamo. What happened?
You know, Andre told us we couldn't play, and we said, hey, you know, we're here. If somebody don't show up, man, we're here with our guitars ready to rock, Andre. And he called me yesterday and said, hey, you guys want to play? We said, you know it. So here we are.
Rob Halford dropped out,
I
didn't he?
guess so. For some reason, we're going to send him a thank you note.
Good.
Rob, if you're out there watching, thank you. I'm sorry you couldn't be here, but we were glad we were.
Excellent. Well, it's good to have you here. Now, your new album, Heal, is out in Europe right now, and it's kind of gone back a lot more to the intensity of like the earlier releases. Why did that happen?
It seems like over a period of time we always just progress, you know, each record what we were relating to at the time, and now it's a little bit back to our roots, and we've always played metal, and it just feels right, you know, it's a good time.
I think something was kind of, you know, that intensity I think was missing from our last release, and two of our crew guys who have been with us for 10 years said, think of where you were. We said, you're right, man.
So how did you conjure up that intensity?
In your head.
Get angry.
You remember where you know, after 10 years, it's easy to forget and you get used to things. We're like, no, we got to remember where we were and just get it.
And did it help to be back on your original home of Metal Blade?
Well, yeah, because there was no pressure in any way. You know, Brian has always been there for us, loves our band, loves our music, and stays out. And Brian has been a big help to a lot of people in metal. And he's one of the good people that you'll ever meet.
Right, absolutely, I'll second that. Actually, I want to say thank you to Mike Bailey from Metal Blade as well for supporting Headbangers Ball. He's been great.
Yeah.
So tell us a little bit about the lyrics, because they're also quite intense as well.
Well, you know, it's all more about personal experience. In the past it had been more political, but now it's just about what's inside. You know, there's a song called Breakthrough. It's about having a positive attitude, not letting people get in your way. Heal is about getting over it. So many people sit around and complain and say, but you just got to go ahead.
Very positive.
Very positive.
I like that, good.
heal my wounds. I remember like it was yesterday. All my days were filled with joy. Then you came in like a black cloud. My happiness was a joy. Every promise broken, I will never think at all. Never kill, never death. I'm trying to heal my wounds. Never kill, never death. No, I will go on. I need too much to see. You understand me, oh. I'm going like that. More than I can feel. It's another time of life. I want to feel.
Stage at Dynamo 96, the beer is flowing and so is the metal. And a little bit earlier today, Voivod were on stage, and I've got 2/3 of the band joining me here on the show. I've got Michelle and new vocalist Eric. So, welcome back to Headbangers Ball, long time no see. How did you get on today on stage at Dynamo?
How did you what?
How did your show go today?
Well, it was amazing. With despite the rain, we had tons of fun. I don't know, what did you think?
It's fucking killer, man. I had a great time. You know, things are a little backstage, Spinal Tap-ish a little bit, but you know, we all worked everything out, and everyone bored each other's tuners and stuff, and we all, you know, made the show work. It's cool.
Well, you look like you're having a good time, Eric.
Great time.
Good. So, you parted ways with Dennis, and you had to go about finding a new vocalist, which was quite a big slot to fill. Also, you needed a bass player. So, how did you find Eric?
Well, actually, one of our managers had seen him in a club and was really impressed, and we were looking for a singer-bass player to replace both Dennis and Jean-Yves, the bass player, and so he's actually the first guy we tried out, and it was a perfect match. We didn't have to look longer. Only we jammed for about 30 minutes, and that was it.
Right. And what have you done before, Eric? And how is it for you to be in a band like Voivod?
I played in a few bands in the Toronto scene, and like you said, Pierre Paradis, my friend Jeff Salem, the whole connection and shit was happening, and it's a real privilege to play with Voivod. As anybody knows Voivod, and it's cool, man. I'm just, you know, doing my thing and being with the boys and doing it up. And
It's cool.
Well, we got the video for Insect on the show. We played it a lot. It's a fantastic video, and I was really impressed with Eric. I think he's great addition to the band. Negatron, excuse me, Negatron, the album. Now that's, you've got an even higher level of intensity there. Can you tell us a little bit about the record?
Well, yeah, I mean, after experimenting a lot with the last couple of albums, we really felt like we missed the heaviness of early releases, and decided to go into that direction. When Eric showed up, we realized he was even heavier than we thought, so we had to go all the way there. And who knows how the next album is going to sound like. But that's the way we are, actually.
Until the final day comes, they prepare a ride. So long into orbit. Guaranteed deception. Apollo 2000 is ready for their dawn. And at the darkest hour they head for the sky. So into orbit. One-way trip into space, so we'll start the human race. Project X has commenced. So different. So different.
Escaping the appalling weather conditions here at Dynamo 96, and as you can see, we're now on a tour bus, and I love coming on these buses. I find them really peaceful and relaxing, away from the crowds out there. And we've been invited on the tour bus by Savatage, making a welcome return to the show. And as you can see, I've got Zach and Chris joining me on the bus. So nice to have you guys back on the show. And I was just wondering if we could backtrack a little bit, because we haven't spoken for a long time. After the tragic death of Chris, I was wondering, was there any possibility that Savatage would split up, or why did you want to keep going?
Well, of course, when anything like that happens, you know, there's probably going to be thoughts of, wow, what do you do from here? I'm sure 2 or 3 months after that, we were like that, and but we decided that, you know, knowing Chris and knowing his love for music, the one thing we couldn't do was let him down by not allowing his music to get out and not making more music so that his legacy could live on, and that's pretty much what's kept us going up to this point.
It's a good feeling. I know things are right, and John's back around, and it just, with the Aliva there, it keeps the spirit of that alive. So, and fans haven't been disappointed, like I said before, and Zach is up there, and Johnny's there, and I've been there on and off for 8.5 years, so there's a good family feeling there now. So
that's great. That's really, really important. So the new album is Dead Winter Dead.
Right.
And now this, I understand, was inspired after you saw some footage of the war in Yugoslavia.
Right, the former Yugoslavia, the breakup, the whole thing that hit the news. We were doing actually the Handful of Rain album, and that's when it's really started over there. I think April of '91, thereabouts, and you know, we just couldn't believe everybody just getting shelled left and right. They didn't care if it was a kid, middle-aged person, an old person. They would just try to basically pick off anybody they could, going to try to get, you know, life-sustaining water, food. People had to live in their basements for up to years, and just really horrible the way that you know, the world could allow this to go on. And even in the United States, we saw that the media was really holding back on information that every day you could just see tons of atrocities, but yet they don't want to show it because they don't want the Americans to feel guilty through the American media.
I could pick up a newspaper in my hometown, and there'd be like,
OJ.
you know, cow runs across street, crushes mailbox, and a big headline, and then there'd be like, you know, 25,000 people killed in shellings in the last month on a little tiny thing.
So the whole thing was really, really, you know, given a low key to what it really was, and we just thought that, man, I mean, this is just crazy. The more and more we read about it, we got a few books, and you know, you grab as much, you know, literature as you can, and the more and more we read, we said, man, I think we should just, if anything, why can't we devote some time to this subject? If the American media is not going to do it, why can't we just do a concept album about it and at least show people that we wanted to look into the issue, and we're not going to sit back there and digest whatever they want to feed out to us, just digest a bunch of crap.
Well, that sounds pretty harrowing stuff, and unfortunately we've run out of time to talk about it some more, but hopefully we can catch you again and talk more in depth about the new record, because it sounds like there is a lot to talk about on that. So you're going to do some more dates in Europe?
Sure, yeah, we're going to do the summer metal meetings.
Oh.
I think that's what it's called.
Summer metal
meetings. With the rest of the guys, the rest of the bands there. I think that's about 6 or 7 shows. We're going to France for the first time. We're doing a whole week, about 7 shows in France for the first time. We're going to break in there and show everybody that we're alive and kicking over there.
We're going to Italy, then we're going over to Japan for a little while.
Excellent.
Japan.
Okay, well, I wish you lots of luck with the new album and all the touring, and have fun at Dynamo here, and yeah, indeed, and don't get too wet. Stay dry. All right, lovely to have Savatage back, and right now we're going to check them out live on stage here at Dynamo 96. Let's see how they got on.
In the back of your head, breathe it in, isn't that what they said? As you stood in the night, even though they fire. Watch it watch it reach through the night. Feel the heat, as you back in its light, as the puppets hang upon their wires. I lost my way, kneel down and pray, it all decay. It takes me down, 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 like a minister said, where this all has led. Can you hear what I hear in the back of your mind as you stand on the stage when they tell you it's time to reverse from the past you can't remember? Guarantee what you have, tell me what is it for? If it makes it my brain more than not anymore, every dream I'm told has its December. I've lost my way, kneel down and pray, it all decay, it takes me down.
come from a fine old Southern tradition of 3 guitar players. You got bands like Skinner, the Outlaws.
Hey, the list goes on.
Allman Brothers, you know.
The Texas Chainsaw Guitar Massacre.
That's what it is for us. The more the merrier, you know. That's what it's all about for us.
Top of the bill, we've got another Dutch band, Gorefest, and it's always a pleasure to see you guys. Welcome back to Jan Chris and Bad Wine. And good place to start here. We've got the stage in the background. You're going on later tonight, and of course Dynamo has always been a good festival for you because you played back in '93.
Yes.
And how is it to be back in '96?
It's an honor, and it's going to be huge. I hope, I guess. I think it will be.
Yeah, because of course you're on home territory and you've got lots of fans out there.
Yeah, you could say that again.
Well, we're going to show you some Gorefest live in just a few moments, but just really to catch up on your latest news, you've got a new album out, Soul Survivor, and on the last EP and the album before that, it was definitely Gorefest growing up and moving away a little bit from the death metal and incorporating a lot more influences. How is it on this album?
It's everything that we wanted to do for the last 2 years. We did on this album. We took the absolute freedom of making an album that we wanted to make, and
compared to the previous albums, it's a giant leap forward.
Boudewijn is mostly the man responsible for this new direction, which was like welcomed by us and wow, this is so good. And it's heavy, it's Gorefest very much, but yeah, I think it's very good.
So why have you called it Soul Survivor? Is that
because our souls have survived. Our souls have survived the music. We've got the fire still burning in ourselves, and I think that's the best thing. I think that to us musicians can happen. That after all these years, we still got that feeling.
Right. And does that really is that kind of kept also from playing live and getting the intensity back from the audience?
Yeah, this is the first time. This album is the first time we managed to keep this live feeling, the energy we get on stage, to put it on tape in the studio, which was always a bit of a problem for us.
Yeah, that's always a difficult thing.
The sensuality.
Oh, I like that. So what about lyrically, Jan Chris? Have you, on the last record you were quite sort of angry. What's kind of got you pissed off at this time?
Nothing really. I'm influenced by life. Yeah. That's my... You see, we're going to be on stage in 2 hours or so, and the sun is shining.
And there's lovely balloons.
And, but you know, life has been good for me the last couple of years, and I think for the rest of the guys as well. And I'm not an angry young man or whatever. I can be very angry, but I'm more angry at the fact that if shit happens and you're not doing anything, you know, against it, that pisses me off. I think, you know, life is anything you make of it. That's such an old saying, but if you want to have a good time, you can have a good time, and I'm in for the good times.
How's that being put across in the lyrics though, because it's not an easy thing to incorporate into the type of music you're doing?
Well, the first song is called Freedom. That's not a very death metal title, and I'm sure a lot of people thought, what the hell is he doing now? But this is how I feel. This is freedom for me. Yeah. You know, making the music I want to make, doing the things I want to do. I'm not pissing people off, and I don't care if they piss me off, but you know, I'm having a great life.
Good.
So.
Excellent. I love a bit of positive energy on Headbangers Ball. Now, tonight is a special night as well for you because you're going to be incorporating some different kind of background, kind of ambience into things, aren't you?
Yes, we are.
You've got keyboards.
Yeah, we have. We use some keyboards on Hammond and some Mellotron on the album, and for special occasions we bring on along this bold guy who plays all these bells and stuff. And,
it's his birthday today.
Yeah.
Extra special then. So just quickly to finish, when can we see you on tour in Europe?
Starting on the 25th of August.
Great.
For 4 months in a row. And that's like this year and early next year. He's a gathering fan.
He is enjoying life as well. That's very good.
But, okay, sorry. Now, well,
I just want to say that we are going to show you a Gorefest video in a couple of weeks' time. It's finally coming through to us. But for tonight, we are going to show you Gorefest taking the Dynamo Festival by storm. I'm quite sure about that. So have a brilliant concert tonight. And
we'll be hard rocking.
You will. Let's check out Gorefest right now, doing what they do best, playing live and of course in front of a home crowd. Okay, well, we're just about concluding our coverage of Dynamo 1996. I hope what you have enjoyed what you've seen so far, but we're going to finish on a very special note because right now we're traveling down to the gig in a limo with the headline band, and of course that's Venom, and joining me here I've got Abaddon. So Abaddon, thanks for letting us in on the limo on the way to a gig, because I know this is like a nerve-wracking time for you. How are you feeling?
Just a day job. Like any other.
Well, I guess a good place to start is, you know, could you explain to us why you decided to reform Venom and why do it at the Dynamo?
If this line of Venom was going to get together, it was always going to be for the Dynamo Festival. We've had an involvement with, I've personally had an involvement with them for probably since the beginning, 10, 11 years. And I know that the people who are involved with the production, the people who are involved with the promotion, have always been Venom fans, and they've always said, you know, it'd be great to get back together and do a really overblown stage show and as many pyros as you always wanted to do, and that's exactly what we're going to do tonight.
Right, well, you're certainly causing quite a stir down at the festival. Everybody's talking about Venom, the original lineup, brilliant. So you've got something special lined up for us tonight on stage. What can we expect? Is it going to be a big rock show?
Serious, over the top, completely back to the big days, the Kiss days, you know, all this kind of stuff. Everything's moving, it's all hydraulic, it's all big pyro. It's exactly what we've always wanted to do, and it's really thanks to the promoters at Anti-Concerts that we've been able to do this.
That's fantastic. So is this, I know you've got a couple of other festivals, but is this just a short reunion, or are you actually planning to be recording another album?
We've actually written a few new pieces, and we're going to be recording something new. There's a lot of record companies down here tonight, and it's like the world's biggest showcase, you know, to completely unsigned band, and we've had a lot of offers over the last year or two, and we thought it would be better to kind of hold out and wait and see what would happen. But when we want to get a record company that believes in us the way Anti-Concerts and the way the band and the road crew and everybody does, and if we can get a record company come along to see us tonight and say that's what we want to do, we want to do that all the time.
You want that commitment?
Yeah, because we get that everywhere I go and I do interviews and I talk to people from magazines who are fans, you know, in Italy, in Portugal, in Brazil, whatever. They're always saying, you know, why don't you come here and do this big show? And it's all they want to see. This lineup of this band will never do anything unless it's like this, unless it is this big, because that's what people want to see.
Yeah.
Venom may well record in different lineups of different, you know, with different members or whatever. But I would hope that, you know, we can prove tonight to other promoters from other countries that it's worth investing in this type of show and investing in the band.
Well, the interest is definitely there. And just to finish, why do you think it is that Venom is almost a bigger name now than you were in your kind of heyday? Because you seem to have got like a cult following now, and you know, everybody's talking about you and interested in what you're doing.
At the time that Venom was sort of first formed, we were, without us knowing it, we were well ahead of our time. We were doing black metal, we were doing speed metal. And the rub-off is that bands, I suppose, like Pantera, almost at Skid Row, you know, are Venom fans. Metallica are Venom fans. Slayer, the black metal thing that's going on in Norway, you know, the kind of things that, you know, where can Burzum and Skid Row sort of meet in the middle, and it's Venom, and that's what it is, because they're fans. It's not so much because of Venom, it's because of these bands talking about Venom, and because all the fans who were into Venom at that time have now got younger brothers who buy Pantera records. And they're buying this type of stuff, and they're saying, well, what's Venom about? And you can hear a similar form of music to all of these acts in a similar form of production.
Of course, but you are the original. Well, thank you very much, Abaddon, for letting us in the limo. I always love travelling in these cars, and lots of luck tonight. Hope it goes well. I'm sure it will. So I'm sure we'll catch up if there's any more Venom news in the future. But that's it for our coverage of Dynamo 96. Hope you've enjoyed the show. Next week, I'm going to be bringing you a special from Pink Pop Festival, so you can watch out for that, with Sepultura and Therapy, among others. But just to finish tonight, what better way than to check out Venom headlining Dynamo 96. The original lineup back together, and as we're going to see, it is a spectacular show. So I hope you enjoy this. See you next time. Bye-bye.
Bye.